Because I actually he was part of the little speech I was gonna give. Then I had to redo that.
What's
I had to
that?
read that little speech I was gonna give about icons and what icon meant to me, and and that he was one of the people that I consider the icon because he always speaks positivity, and he messed that all up. I had a whole little spiel about Will Smith. when when I
I
looked
don't
at it,
know.
I said I can't say that no more.
Um, you know, I don't know. I guess you can still consider him icon. In the sense of because a lot of people that have been considered icons are you know have had bad light shined on them. You
No,
know,
that's true. Yeah, I guess it's
so
how they overcome it. That's the whole point of what I'm saying about overcoming negativity. How can you overcome that? You
right.
know. Um, Before we get started, y'all want to put this scripture up. Hold on a second. And it is, instead of praying tonight, we're just gonna do a scripture. And this Romans 8:28. It said, we know that in everything God works for the good of those who love him. So for those that love God, he is always working on your behalf. So that is something that you always want to remember when you're going through your day and going throughout your week. Just remember that if you love God, you love Jesus, he's gonna love you back and he's gonna take care of So them sure words to live on, you can bank on. All right. With that being said, we're gonna move on today. Now, I want to talk about this Will Smith and this Chris Rock situation. Um, this is something that kind of threw everybody for a loop. I swear to y'all, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was something fake. I thought it was a skit they were doing until Will Smith started yelling and cussing Chris Rock out. Um, my show today was supposed to be by Icon. Who I consider Will Smith to be an icon, still is. I mean, I can't take away from his body of work and the philanthropy that he's done and the things that he continues to do. You know, but one of the antonyms, I don't know if I'm saying that right, I could be wrong. Antonyms, I think, is I can overcome negativity. That's what an icon is. And he is one of the ones that I consider a true icon because he's always talking about how he put his fears aside, and keep away the negative thoughts, and he go forward in his life and try not to let fear be a determining factor on whether he do something or not. And I have always admired that and tried to apply that in my life in certain situations. Not letting fear overtake me and doing things that I normally wouldn't do. This show is a true, this is a true testament of that exact thing. Uh, Try to do something that was straight out of my normal. This ain't something that I ever thought I would be doing. Trying to post videos on YouTube to try to give some men and some young men some straight talk about some experience and stuff that happened in our lives. But that's what we're here for, and we hopefully that's something we say during this episode, any of these shows that we do, is something that you can hold on to, something that'll help you along the way. So, anyway, to the slack. Will Packard was producing the Oscars this year, which the Oscars really are trying to turn around that Oscar so white thing a few years back when there was really a lot of black actors, a lot of black directors, a lot of quote unquote black movies. was snubbed, for Oscars. And they knew they was wrong. They already knew that it was already stacked against us as it was. It was stacked against our black actors and directors and producers. And but I can say since that happened, there has been somewhat of change. They are trying to do better. I can see, a lot of changes that they have made, to try to make things a little bit more even, I guess you could say. And on an even playing field, a lot of times we succeed. Um, and I don't know if it's, one of the things, it's just embedded in America, that racism. We've talked about it on this show before about trying to overcome racism, and but at least seem like every time we try to get better, it's somebody trying to pull us back. But to our own detriment, sometimes we seem to bring ourselves back. So, Bill, I just want to get your take on this. What did you think about what happened at the Oscars the other night?
I guess at first, I was wondering, like you said, if it was a skit, but then, once I, kind of like looked at it a few times and then just thought about it, and I'm like, just from, what you saw and heard, to me, I just felt like, it's got to be deeper than what we saw. It's got to be something that, was going on outside of what we saw in that brief moment before Will walked up there. And I guess it's one of those things to where, you never know what's going on in someone's relationship at any given time, and then, no matter where we as society put people that's in the public eye that's performing, what we got to always remember is that, they are still human. They're still human. They're still vulnerable to mistakes. They're still vulnerable to acting out from feelings. So, I guess my hat's off to Chris Rock for his composure, for what happened. And, and just from the looks at it, it kind of looked like, Will kind of laughed it off at first and then looked at Jada, and then Jada made it seem, like, it wasn't funny. And then, like, he going up, in a sense of trying to redeem her honor or his honor for him laughing at the joke, which, hey, a joke was a good joke. Sometimes it could be in bad taste, but hey, that's his line of work. So maybe he was nervous, and that was something easy to go at. But the thing about it is, you're in the public eye, so to some point, you got to have a thicker skin than that in that situation at that stage in life on this stage of television. This is the Oscars. So, everybody in that room is used to acting. So, hey, put on a happy face. If you had an issue with it, I can't remember. I was talking with someone, and they said if he walked up there and did anything, he should have walked in there and whispered in his ear, "Don't talk about my wife," or something like that, instead of going up there slapping the man on live TV, because everybody's gonna jump all over that. But my thing is, what I saw in that was, I saw that no matter where we put people or what kind of pedestal we put people on, they're still human, and they're still vulnerable to making mistakes. And they're still vulnerable to acting out feelings at inappropriate times. And that was a perfect example of someone acting out feelings. But I just feel like what was done on the camera didn't really have a lot to do with what was already boiling over in that situation. I don't know if Chris Rock just struck a nerve, but it just seemed like it was more going on than just what we had seen on that little skit on the show. And my opinion of it is just we as being on the outside looking in is to just hey, just pray for that situation because you really don't know what's going on, but it's something going on other than what we saw.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I feel the exact same way. I actually thought when he got up, I thought he was going up there too, kind of whispering in the ear like, "Hey man, look, she got alopecia. This ain't no cool joke." Cause who knows? I don't know. Who knows if Chris Rock even knew she had alopecia? It was a joke. They've taken digs at each other before. As far as I knew, they supposed to be cool with one another. After the Oscar So White
Right.
thing, and she tried to get him to,
Right.
not be the
Well,
host.
have they had issues? Have they had
Only
issues
because
before or anything?
only thing I remember about the whole situation that he told a few jokes about them, both of them. During that, I think it was 2016 Oscar when he hosted, and that was the same year that they was boycotting the Oscar. And he made a joke. Matter of fact, the joke he made was, Jada Pinkett boycotting the Oscar is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wouldn't invite it. That's what the joke was. And then he said, I understand that y'all think it's unfair that Will was snubbed for concussion. He said, but I also think it's unfair that Will got paid $20 million for Wild Wild West. So those was the jokes he throwed out, during that,
Right.
that time when they were trying to boycott the Oscar. So,
Right.
I don't know if they still had bad blood behind that. That's what they keep trying to make that be a thing on social media. But, I've heard other people say, on radio shows and everything else that him and Chris Rock were cool. They didn't really have no beef. So I don't know if that was just a stunt for publicity or not, like really need no more publicity. I don't know what that was about.
Right.
Other than, like you said, it was way more going on than him slapping Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was the end to frustration about something that didn't have nothing to do with that man.
Right.
And
Right.
what kills me about the whole situation is everybody keep, and I love me some Will Smith, man. That's positive. I listen to a lot of stuff he say, man. I've been intending to read his book. I heard it was a good book to read, man, especially when you are doing stuff like this, where you always doubting yourself. You don't know if you're doing the right thing. You're not really getting a whole lot of viewers, and you know you want to spread a message, and you got so much stuff you want to do, and God keep telling you this the vehicle to do it, but you ain't seeing the results right away. And that's part
Right.
of what his book talk about is how to, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You can't even think about this stuff. You keep doing it, and eventually, at some point, you're gonna look back and be like, okay, yeah, I see why you pushed me to go this way. You know what I'm saying? But like I said,
Mm-hmm.
good dude. I always thought like a pretty decent dude. I don't know what that was about. Just so far out of character for him, for as I know. You know,
Right. Well,
but
you think about this, even with like you saying that inspirational. He now wrote an inspirational book that really could help a lot of people advance or move into the next step or the next phase in their life. And the first thing the enemy does after something like that is done is they try to tarnish what was trying to be put in place as a tool to help people. And then
right,
you just think about something like this happening, and some people being, like you said, in that position to where this book could really help them, and then because of this one act, they might not read the book and never reach that next level, which the book might be the key for them getting to
yeah,
that level.
exactly,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
I honestly believe that he issued an apology. I think it was on Instagram or something. He basically said, to you, Chris, what I did was unacceptable and unexcusable. You know, um, Chris, not Chris, Jim Carrey, that was on this morning on I forgot CBS this morning. I think it is with Gail King. If Gail King would interview him, and and he said that it was despicable to him. You know, he was like Hollywood is spineless because if that had been anyone else, he would have been led out of there in handcuffs. I agree with him. I actually agree with him. You know, it's certain things that certain people can do that other people can't. You know, and to get up on live TV and slap a man, you know, you basically got up and assaulted somebody on live TV for everybody to witness, and no charges were pressed. Now I know some of that was due to Chris Rock not pressing charges, but you know that could have been blowback for him pressing charges. You know what I'm saying? From what I understand, his ticket sales actually then went up since all of this happened because they know he gonna talk about it in his stand up. You know, so a lot of he on tour, is you know as we speak, and they was like his ticket sales then went through the roof since all that happened. You know, I'm sure he would do for an apology a sincere one. You know, from Will Smith. You know, maybe personally because he don't have nothing to gain by publicly getting together and having no photo ops with the man. And that's what a lot of people were saying, that you know it's not going to benefit Chris Rock to get up in front of a crowd and take picture with Will Smith, saying that they done squashed it. Only person going to come out to the good on that is actually Will Smith. That slap going to be on the internet from now on. The meme started that night. You know, the TikTok started that night. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be the hot thing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's embarrassing for a grown man to get slapped on live TV. I mean, just to get slapped here. I can't stand being hit in my face. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody that know me know that, you know, don't touch me in my face. I can't. I don't even like, my son like to play with me and stuff. He know better. You know, that's just something you just don't do. That's my thing. I'd rather you punch me in my gut than touch me in my face. You know, there's a whole lot of things you can do but touch me in my face. So slapping me, you know, and slapping anybody else, I like you said, I give Chris Rock so much credit. Man, I give that man some credit. This is what a true icon is. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who can overcome negativity, because there's so many ways that could have went. Man, that could have turned out really bad for everybody. You know, because a couple of other people he had did that too. They'd have had to clear the Oscar. It wouldn't have came back on. You know what I'm saying? So I could think of a handful of comedians, you know, that he had did that too. It would have been an issue up in there. You know what I'm saying? But I give Chris Rock.
But then even as when you look at it, it wasn't like that Will went up there with, you know, his posture walking up there wasn't like he finna go up there and slap the man.
I don't know. I'm still saying, and I don't know, man. Maybe it just, me and Wendy were looking at it earlier. Me and my wife were looking at it earlier, and it just seemed like it was. It seemed almost like it was playing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it don't look. It just don't look like what it looked like for somebody to walk up on somebody and slap him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was just that he just didn't expect it, or he didn't know what Will would come. He thought maybe Will would come and say something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's what it was. It just didn't look right. It just didn't, because it didn't even look like.
That's kind of like, you know, you just think about somebody walking towards you. You know, your mind is kind of like trying to dissect what you're seeing, and you know, looking at their facial expression. You know, if they're, are they looking aggressive, or are they looking like they're gonna try to harm you? You know, and I'm pretty sure, you know, Chris didn't see none of that. And then if you look, it was like Will walked up to him, and then when he got in front of him, he kind of paused and then slapped him.
Yeah.
So maybe that was Will's way of walking up on him. You know, looking like wasn't nothing finna happen, just to get close enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so. But, you know, like you said, you know, my hat's off to Chris Rock for, you know, keeping his composure on live TV, you know, doing what in the past we would have said Will would have done, as they say, turn the other cheek.
Yeah, see now, if somebody did that to him, I would have fully expected him to not do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Really, because that just this kind of dude that he seemed to that be. But I still seem to
Right.
be. I ain't gonna say that because I don't know what was going on. He might have just been on one that night. Who knows? But like you said,
Right.
it seemed like he thought the joke was funny until he looked at her. you know,
Right.
and
Right.
for him to
Right,
say
man.
love will make you do crazy things, maybe he saw that she was hurt by it, and that turned him. You know, I can't say that if it was my
Right.
wife, would I have reacted the same way? You know what I'm saying? But knowing that, Chris Rock, he was on the joke. That was not no dig at her. That wouldn't attack her, you know, illness or whatever. I doubt that man even knew that woman had alopecia because I didn't know until somebody told me. Because I didn't understand what he so teed off about. I really did.
Right.
He's like, well, she got alopecia. Oh no, I didn't. I'm like,
Well, if that the case, she done wore wigs in the past. If you that sensitive about your hair, why not put a wig on?
see, now we getting into a whole nother thing right there. We finna get off into something.
I'm just,
I'm
I'm just
telling you,
saying.
I'm gonna say it with you though. I agree with you. I agree with you. I totally agree with you on that. And I was thinking the same thing, but I wouldn't dare say it in front of my wife and daughter because they gonna come at me hard. But I mean, I'm not saying that she should wear no wig. All I'm saying is the same
Right.
thing you saying. If you that sensitive about it and you don't want nobody to say
Right.
nothing about it, then what's wrong with wearing a wig? I'm sure you don't want it before. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Especially going to an event like this to where, guess what? It's going to be people there that, may be sensitive, may be insensitive, but just until she got comfortable within her own skin with not having a wig on, just
Right.
kind of work your way to that. You know
I
what I
got
mean?
you.
Not saying that she had to, but until she was comfortable in her own skin and somebody said something to her, why not wear a wig? Because guess what? You know, all of y'all will be in jail if every time somebody made a comment about your head, one of your family member act out. Everybody be locked up, but you.
Yeah. You're right.
You
You're
can't
absolutely
punch
right.
everybody that made a comment about your head.
And see,
People been talked about every day.
but it though. It seemed like it was more to it than that. Like maybe they did have some
Man.
bad blood. You know what I'm saying? Because it just okay. What about that joke that you seen the thought was funny
Well,
at first twisted?
I don't even think it was that. I don't think it was so much as Chris Rock as it was as between him and her. I think it was more
Yeah.
between him and her because
Yeah.
when Chris said it, shoot, he even laughed.
He
When
did.
Chris
He
first said
laughed.
it, he even laughed. But I think when I say there's more going on than what we saw, I'm speaking in reference to. I feel like it's more going on between him and her.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty obvious. I think anybody that saw that probably recognized that. That it was way more to it than just that one joke. You know what I'm saying? That's what. But like
Right.
I said, then at the same time, it kind of looked a little fake to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
don't. During these days and time, man, you really can't put nothing past nobody. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to
Right.
them, faking stuff and doing stuff for clout, doing stuff for views and doing stuff for publicity and I
Right.
mean, look at it. It's everywhere. Man, you can't turn on nothing without seeing it. They
Right.
all on the national news and everything.
Right.
So I mean, come on, man. That if I don't mean I don't know if he got no movie to promote, but I know, like I said, I know for a fact and then heard a plenty of reports saying that Chris Rock comedy show is being sold out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like they done sold more tickets in the last 2 days than they done sold in the last 2 months. That's exactly what the man
Right.
said. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just thought it
Right.
bear talking about because, like I said, these two men both are people I consider icons, and that overcoming negativity is something that I know that both of them have did. Both of them came from You know, they really came from nothing. None of them, neither one of these guys born rich. You know what I'm saying? And they have really turned their craft into an empire. You know, and I admire that. You know, I
Right.
don't want to sell my soul. You know, like a lot of people say that him and Jada pretty much done sold their soul to the devil. And I don't know nothing about all that, but
Right.
to come from meager beginnings, man, and to end up where you are today, purely off of hard work. And it didn't come to him easy. I'm sure, I was told that when he first started acting, they ain't think Freddie Prinze of Bel Air was gonna reach the fourth episode. They was like, he was
Right.
terrible. He was absolutely terrible.
Right. Right.
So, but to go from
But
that
then
to
I
where
was
he at now,
surprised. Right.
go
But
ahead.
then I was surprised, everybody was, I'm just being funny now, but, with everything, with the stuff that's going on with his son, stuff that's going on with his daughter and his wife, I'm surprised that's all he done did with all the stuff that done been going on in their family. The only thing he done did was just slap somebody. I'm surprised.
Uh, I heard somebody say the
My,
same thing, but they said that slap was for her. That was her slap. That's the way he had caught in the chamber that he had unloaded yet. That was
you might be right there.
Chris Rock took her bullet.
Yeah. She might have been back. She should have been back there waiting for him when he came off stage with an ice pack. I appreciate that, Chris.
You. Yeah,
You took one for the
you.
team. You took one for the team.
Then I done seen memes that say you'll slap Chris Rock, but you wouldn't slap this man, and had a picture of her and August Alsina.
Yeah.
The dude
And
she
then,
supposed to been had the entanglement with.
Yeah. And what's up with his son? Ain't his son going through something?
I don't know, man. That boy is way out there. Way out there.
Huh?
I don't even know, man. I just know he way out there, man. He way out there. Them kids pretty much raised themselves, man. I mean, really, they're what it appears. I can only speak from what I see and what they done shown, and them, having their family in the limelight, and just listening to some of the stupid stuff that he say, and some of the things that he do, and it's like if they weren't Will Smith kid, they'd be locked up. They'd be in prison, both of them. You know what I'm saying? The daughter is with 4 or 5 different dudes, and she talking about what we talked about this on one of the shows, polyamorous relationship. I was talking about they daughter Willow, how she supposed to be in this polyamorous relationship where she got a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and the boyfriend and the girlfriend got boyfriends and girlfriends, and everybody sleeping with everybody, but they supposed to be loyal to each other. It's about 7 of them in a pot. Like what kind of message?
I saw that
man?
interview, man.
This shit is crazy.
Sorry,
I might have to beat that out, but that shit is crazy.
I saw that when she sat down at the table with her mom and mom's friend or something like that, and I was like, is Jada really trying to say something through her child or something about
that's
how
what
she
I
trying to live life?
That I caught the same picture. I said the same thing. You trying to justify some bull right now? You know what I'm saying? It's just what it seemed like.
I didn't get that.
Cause I've been hearing for years that they was in an open marriage, and they both date other people and get with other people. Even though they both said it wasn't true, but it's kind of hard to say that. Then your daughter turn around and she exposed that on your Red Table Talk, and you don't have a problem with it. Maybe you might be in a polyamorous relationship, but I don't know about we. You know what I'm saying? Because that whole situation about this entanglement, let's just call it what it is. You cheating on your husband. You know what I'm saying? But this whole situation that I remember seeing the interview that they did together after that, and you can visibly see. You need to go back and watch that if you ain't seen it. The one where it was just him and Jake, and you can visibly see that he was getting very annoyed with some of the crap she was saying. You know what I'm saying? Because every time he would say that you were with somebody else while we were married, she will always say, well, it was an entanglement. I wasn't really with him. He's like, what? He was like, just say what it is. And she still wouldn't say it. And you could see he was getting pissed off about it. And I believe they cut and came back, because it looked like it was, the whole atmosphere was a whole lot different when they like switched, they flipped to another scene. And I was like, okay, all right. So he, obviously, the man is not happy about it, and he wouldn't have it. You know what I'm saying? So you say what you want to say. I don't think that is a lot of him. It just seems like it's a lot of her. You know what I'm saying? A lot of her. And him going up on stage doing what he did the other night, that just seemed like a whole lot of Jada. You know what I'm saying? So
that would seem like to me. Like I was telling Bruce, I was like, it just seemed like something else was going on there because, when Chris Rock told the joke, Will even thought it was funny. But then when he looked at Jada, then it became a problem.
Yeah.
So, my thing over there, it was more than what was going on right there. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's really going on? You know what I mean? Because that got, I think, it's something that was going on her. Chris Rock just got caught up in the middle.
In the middle of, yeah. But let's answer this question. For you, if you was in that situation that Chris Rock is in right now, can he apologize to you and you let it go? I mean, I take it. I look at it this way. He is a strong individual for not doing anything to further make that worse. And it takes a lot of dudes. It takes a lot of man that stand up there and get slapped on national TV and compose yourself and still give out an award. I mean, he was a little rattled, but he still gave out the award and went on backstage because I can't say I'm a little slow sometimes. I truly am a Christian man. Sometimes I don't act like it. I ain't that good of a Christian to get slapped in my face nowhere and not retaliate. It'll take a lot for me to pull that down. I mean, it would take a lot for me to swallow that and walk off. You know what I'm saying? So, if you Chris in this situation, could you accept an apology from this man? And how would you need to see it?
Well, I guess, we looking at it in the sense of, okay, if that had been if that had been me or you, okay, to look at it in that to look at it at that level, we would have to put ourselves at that level. As far as being in the public eye, we would have to be at that level because we're looking at getting slapped at the level we're at right now. Because first thing we're gonna say, "Oh, I'm going to jail."
Yeah.
Just being real at the level that we are now. Not being at the Grammys or not being at the Oscars. If I'm in Walmart, sitting in line at Walmart, somebody come up and slap me, we finna tell Walmart to hell.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But in order to be in that situation, you got to be sold out into that situation to where you're standing in the public eye like that. Okay, let's imagine. Okay, I'll give you a good example. Okay, let's just say you at say your grandbaby christening at church, and you giving a word, and somebody come up and slapped you at the christening of your grandbaby. I'm just throwing something out there, just trying to make it real.
Right.
Because we can't make the Grammys real, but what would you do in that situation? That would have been something that was real. That would be something that was real personal to you, but it was something tangible that you can see yourself being involved in.
Yeah, it'll be some furniture movie. I'm sorry. It just, I'm sorry. I ain't that good of a Christian.
So you're not. You're not the pulpit over.
Oh yeah. It'd have been on. It'd have been on and popping. It'd have been on and popping. I'm sorry. I am a Christian. I love Jesus. I love him to death, but he's still working on me.
What were you holding the baby when they slapped you?
I'm finna put the baby down. Figure out to put him on the floor. But no, bro, no. You know, I know a lot of people like to say what they would have did, you know, in that situation. But you really, you know, like me and Wendy were talking, man. You really don't know until you get in that situation. But I know me enough. But I'm saying though, I know me enough though, that if you walked up to me, especially at a time like that, something that was personal to me, something that we was doing, you know, supposed to be about love and gathering, and you just walked up to me and slapped me like that. Oh no, sir. We finna tear some pews up.
But Chris probably would have had Chris probably had that same thing before he went up there. Somebody said, "Man, what if somebody walked up to you while you at the Emmys or you at the Oscars and just slapped you in the face in front of millions? What would you do?" Oh man, they gonna have to go to commercial because we finna tear the stage up.
And I believe they like to, because he, like, you could tell he thought about it for a second. Like he said, I think it was like,
and
he stopped himself.
He said wow. He said wow twice, right?
Yeah, he said wow.
He said, I think he got slapped. And then he said wow. He said wow, man, he just slapped me. And then I think the first wall. I
know that was funny to you.
I don't think the first one registered. I really don't think that first wall registered. So I think once he slapped him, I think, you know, when he went over and side his head, hit his knee and come back up, and he said, wow, the first time, you know, it took a minute for it to register, and then he was like, wait a minute, wow. I don't think the first one really registered. I think he saw it, but he didn't really feel it, and it didn't really register to the second wow.
Hold on, here come Derek. Hold on a second. Derek. What up, cuz?
Man, can't
What's going on, D?
Man, tired.
Man, we were just sitting here talking. Let me catch you up. We sit here talking about that Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. And
he wouldn't stop me. Man, that's the biggest sign of disrespect you can do to a person.
Hey,
that comes right under spit now. It's spit, then slap.
Oh boy.
Illa was just saying, man. He's like, okay, we ain't Grammy winners, so you know, they put it in real life. We was at a Christmas. You know, I'm holding the baby. Somebody in the crew just come up and slap me. I told him, we gonna move some furniture around. He talking about, what if you holding the baby? I'm gonna put the baby on the floor if nobody don't grab it. Yeah. It's finna be some furniture shaking around that bad boy.
What you do, Derek? What you do? You had your grandbaby Christmas and you holding the baby. Finna say a few words. Somebody come up and just, hey, I ain't gonna say they slapped you. They hauled off and slapped you in front of everybody. What you gonna do?
Man. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Real men say that all the time at church. He said, you can't never say what you ain't gonna do. So I can tell you this. I can't say what I would or wouldn't do. Because like sometimes, you know, somebody catch you off guard, you might be like, man, wait a minute. Hold on now. You know, and like me personally, I think that's what Chris Rock caught. Yeah. I think he was like, what?
Definitely at first.
Yeah, he thought they were going to have a TV moment. And they broke the internet.
That first while they registered.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like he had to think about it. It's like, oh, Will Smith slapped me.
I'm sure he said this before he said, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. But I'm sure in his mind he was going, did that nigga just hit me?
Yep.
Like Illa saying on Rush Hour. Which one of y'all motherfuckers just kicked me?
Which one of y'all just?
Nah.
Hey.
You remember the cartoon, right? Now go ahead.
Oh man, they done had every meme possible out there. The night of, they were busting.
Can you imagine Chris Rock being up there now? You know he got like a teleprompt that he reading off of.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that he got two screens up there and one screen telling him what to say and the other one replaying him getting slapped?
Man.
Well, see, we probably would have saw something different then.
This is the thing. This thing that's crazy. And I guess that what got me is the way Will Smith had his hand and the way he drew back. I said, because think about it. Remember on the cartoon, all right, when Bugs Bunny and whoever would challenge each other to a duel, and Buzz take that white glove off and pop, pop. I challenge you to a duel. Hey, that's a gunfight. Hey, that go all the way back to the 40s when they made that cartoon.
I'm trying to tell you, boy.
Hey, well, I tell you what, man, I'd have been your Sam to Sam in that one. Then you know after Bud Bunny was slapping, then your Sam to Sam would come back and say, you know that means war.
Yep. You know it. But you gotta watch me every time you go somewhere. You gotta make sure I ain't around.
Yep.
I'm gonna have you checking corners, everything. I'm gonna.
Hey, if you ever seen one interview, you got to see Shannon Sharp, man.
Oh yeah. My God! Yes, I seen it.
You got to see what Shannon Sharp said about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Shannon Sharp said we be fighting on sight every time I see it. Shannon Sharp said every time I see him, we be fighting on sight.
See it, we'll be fighting. Man, I see it. I saw that. I saw what he said, man. Him and Skip. Even Skip was like, "No, man." You know, Skip used to be trying to be a voice of reason. Nah, Skip didn't have no reason for that. He had no voice of reason for that. He was like, that was just disgusting. No. And he said, I'm surprised that didn't that further happen. Man.
Woo,
Lord, man.
Hey, my hat off to Chris Rock.
I'll tell you, man, Chris Rock is a true icon. He's a living legend, man. It take a lot of man to stand up there and take that lick and walk off. It takes a lot of man for that. Yeah. If anybody ever question two things, Chris Rock chin and Chris Rock's integrity, you can't hold a candle to him. Never again.
Yeah.
Never again.
Hey, I put that up there. I put that up there with Richard Pryor talking about when he caught fire that time.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, man, you can't question him. You can't question that soldier at all. Never.
Oh man.
Never. Never.
He might come back and do something crazy later on down the road, but you're gonna always come back and say, hey man, you remember that time now, you know. Remember that time he took that slap like a soldier up there on the Oscars.
Yeah, but hey man.
You know what? Chris Rock got a free pass. I don't care what he do.
Oh yes, sir.
He got one free pass.
That gangster there. Yeah, that real gangster there, boy. Cause you can't, man. A lot of dudes couldn't have did that. I'm telling you.
No.
A lot of men wouldn't have did that. A lot of men would not have taken it. No, I don't care who you is. I don't care if you were President Biden. You got rocked. I mean, just straight ripped up in there. So no, man. No.
You know, the whole thing is that I guess that I think about. What do Jada got over this dude?
Okay.
I think it's just me. That was her slap.
No, it ain't you. I just got through saying that.
That slap was her.
We just got finished saying that before you came on. That there was way more going on to that than just him being mad with Chris Rock about a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because he seemed to have laughed and thought it was funny at first.
Yeah.
Until he looked at her and realized that she wouldn't laugh. Then it became a prop. So how much of that was actually Will and not Jake? You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't see no problem laughing about it. He thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? But she took it, to heart. And I understand, don't get me wrong now, because any of us seen our wives hurt by something somebody said, you probably gonna react. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if it would have warranted you getting into a fist fight or slapping nobody over, but you probably still would have reacted. And he could, in that setting though, it could have easily pulled that man to the side later on and say, hey man, my wife wasn't happy about that joke you made, man. She got alopecia. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that could have came to a peaceful solution. He could have went and apologized to us, say, hey man, I ain't know, you know, I won't do no jokes about your head no more in the future. And that would have been squashing over it. That's how men handle things.
But the whole thing is, he was doing his job. He a comedian. That's what he do. I mean, think about how D.L. Hughley roast folks.
Oh my God!
Come on, man. They better not ever go to a comedy show.
Dave Chappelle will do it too. He don't do it that much, but he will do it now. If you go to heckle
him, I can't wait to see what he got to say about it.
Oh, well, he already said you want to slap. He said you want to slap me. He said that. He already put that out there. Nah, you wouldn't have got me, homeboy.
Man, doing his job. Come on, man.
Well, see that, and Illa said earlier, you know, and I was saying, okay, we're gonna open up a can of worms from the women folk about this, I'm sure. But Illa said earlier that if you that sensitive about your head and your hair loss, why not wear a wig? You know what I'm saying? Not nobody's telling you got to, but y'all sitting in the front row, y'all know comedians coming out there, y'all know people coming out there trying to be funny, because you know the Oscar pretty much, you know, a dead stick unless somebody being really good and being really funny. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everybody out there trying to do a stick. A lot of them didn't work, but, you know, they still was out there trying to do a thing. So, you know, you got a comedian coming out there that he gonna bust on everybody in the front row. You already know it. You already know it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to take it that far off of a joke, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part I didn't quite get, and I still having trouble understanding, other than the fact that he felt like he needed to do something because of the way she reacted, you know. But
she didn't say a word. It's the way she looked at him.
Yeah, but I'm saying you
cut her eyes over there. I was like, man, this crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't even watch no Oscars. I was sitting in the bed, and it came up breaking news on CNN, and I was like, what?
Hey, let me tell you, I was watching it, but let me tell you why I was watching. We love Encanto, and they said they were gonna sing "We Don't Talk About Bruno," so I want to see them sing that live, even though they messed it up. Had Meg Thee Stallion come out there and do a verse. I'm like, what they did? Meg Thee Stallion went in that movie. Oh man came out there and got her. I'm like, hold on, man, wait a minute now, that ain't how that song go. They just jacked it all up. They start singing about the Oscars. So wait a minute. We don't talk about the Oscars.
Come on, man.
Man, I thought Illa was stuck up there in the corner.
Yeah, he was stuck.
I didn't realize he was stuck up there. The internet keep going out. But yeah, man, I'm glad you came on, man, so you could throw your opinion in. We were talking about icons and what that icon meant, you know.
Yeah.
And I can overcome negativity. And I was actually, funny thing about it, it's funny this happened because I had wrote this out like last Saturday, something like that. Mm-hmm. And he is one of the people I consider, you know, Will Smith is one of the people I consider an icon, you know, because he doesn't let the negativity stop him from doing stuff. You know, he's wrote a whole book about how once he overcame fear, you know, the fear of doing things, how it prepared him so much further in life. And that's one of the things that, you know, he said that stuck with me. And I, you know, that's, you know, he was part of my the whole speech I had planned out, he was part of it. Then this happened. So, you know, it kind of got steered a different direction, but we still been talking about icons, man. I got to give Chris that icon, you know, because like I said, man, it take a lot of man and stamp and then get hit like that and don't retaliate. So, you know, and man, any young people that watch this show, man, that is a lesson that you all can learn. It take more power and more strength and more fortitude in your entire body to walk away from a situation like that than to strike back. And Chris Tucker is a hero to me. I mean, not Chris Tucker. Chris Rock is a hero to me.
Yeah.
You know, I give him all that problem. Will was dead ass wrong. Care what nobody say on this planet other than that. He was wrong. And whatever they do to him, you know, as far as the academy go, because at this point, y'all done boycotted us. Now, came in here and showed out on us. You probably I wouldn't invite you back. That's just me. Like I said, I'm a Will Smith fan, so that's coming from a fan. I wouldn't invite you back.
Did you see that clip from, it was like 5 or 6 years ago, when Jada called herself boycotting the Oscars?
Yeah,
and Chris Rock was and I was like, I said, man, I wonder if she still heated all the way from that.
I don't know. I don't believe so. I don't believe that had nothing to do with it. I really don't.
To me, if I boycott something one time, I'm done with you forever. You ain't gonna ever see me.
And that's just it. If you were still mad about something he said about that, why y'all at the Oscars?
Yeah.
But this is just one of them things, man, where we'll probably never know the real truth behind that. Only what they gonna tell us. That's cool. But unless I hear him really sincerely, unless I hear Chris Rock come out and say, well, yeah, he called me, we talked about it, we done, it's over with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
ain't happened yet.
Apology. Well, that little weak apology he put out on Instagram, man, I'm like, really, dude, you should, when he was up there apologizing to the Academy when he won the award,
he didn't say Chris.
He should have said something to him then. That would have meant way more. It would have meant way more to other people and Chris Rock, I'm sure.
Yep.
Had he did that then publicly.
Yep.
You publicly embarrassed that man, you should have publicly apologized to him. All right, let's do this. Like I said before, icons. Icons is I can overcome negativity, and we want to try to be icons in our everyday life. We're not celebrities, we're not stars, we're not on the red carpet, we're not, in the limelight. We do this show, but I don't expose my family much on here. My wife and daughter will come on here from time to time, but being an icon is more than that, way more than that. And it's about overcoming negativity and being somebody that can be counted on to be a beacon for other people. And that's what we try to do here on this show. We're not trying to be perfect. We're not trying to preach to nobody every week. We're going to say a scripture. We are faith-based. We are Christian men. So if you can't get with that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Sometimes I say some things and do some things that ain't Christian-like, and I have to apologize and ask for forgiveness. I ain't that good of a Christian yet. God's still working on me. I'm going to continue to say that until I feel worthy, which I may never feel worthy. But I'm going to keep working on myself, and that's the most important thing. Now, with that being said, like I said, we're not perfect. We're not trying to be perfect. We're not trying to preach to nobody and tell nobody what they should and should not be doing. All we are simply doing is sharing experiences that we have experienced through our lifetime. Between us all, this is 150 years of experience almost of different situations, same situation that we can share with you all. Hopefully the younger men, that even the older men can tell the younger men that you won't have to go through this stuff if you just listen a little bit. So being an icon, and I got t-shirts coming with this on it. I wish I had one to show. I had one made, and I intend on showing it today, but I wasn't able to. But being an icon is just that, overcoming negativity, and you can do it. Anybody can do it. All it takes is a little strength and fortitude in your own being, your personality, your soul. Because if you think about it, if you actually, my granddad used to say this to me a lot of time when I was growing up. If you think before you do, 9 times out of 10, you won't do. Most of your ideas are probably going to fail 90% of the time. If you think about it before you do it, then most of the time you would succeed 90% of the time. Don't just react to things. Will Smith reacted to a situation that he did have to react to. He could have simply pulled that man to the side after the fact and got his point across without all that showing out on TV. Really just made us look bad. I don't care what nobody say. We of the culture, so we can say that it made us look bad.
Yeah.
It really made us look bad. The first time that you got a black man producing this show and you pull this stunt, I'm upset with him by it. I kept saying I'm disappointed. Well, I'm not disappointed. I'm fully teed off with it. Yeah. Because you overshadow what otherwise could have been a great experience.
Yeah.
You know, for Will Packer, the 3 ladies that hosted, you know what I'm saying? You just messed up everything. I mean, he even messed up his own acceptance speech because it was tainted.
Yep.
You know. So being an icon is more than just being an entertainer or somebody that is well known. It's about your everyday life, being a good father, being a good husband, being a good brother, son. You know, how do you treat your mama? How do you treat your siblings? How do you treat your kids? How do you treat the mother of your kids if you're not with them? You know, all of that is part of being an icon in your life. You know, you don't have to be with a woman to be good to your kids or be good to her. Because what's good for the mama is good for the kids. And if more men would think about it like that, you know, the kids will be better off. The kids, think about the kids first.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for kids, you know, who father ain't around, you know, because I know a lot of times, you know, men get a bad rap for being deadbeat dad, and a lot of times women, you be in the way.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I ain't saying that for every man. Some men just ain't gonna do right. But if you really truly think about it, are you doing what's best for your kid? I know he ain't brought no money. I know he ain't paying child support. But do he want to spend time with that child? Because if he want to spend time with that child, let him do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Please let him do it. You know, he might be a little bit more inclined. I ain't saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying he might be a little bit more inclined if he getting to know that child better to put forward something. You know, I think we get caught up with the grown folk business and we don't think about the child. So, you know, that, like I said, that's part of being an everyday icon. Be an icon in your neighborhood. Stand up for people when you see stuff going wrong. Yeah. You know, we got to do better with each other before we can get the world better. Because if we sick, if the culture sick, if our community sick, the rest of the world gonna be sick. Yeah. But we can be that shining light. We can be that icon. We can be that beacon. You know, it just take a little not thinking about yourself and think about us. You know, we just all got to do better, man. So anybody that watch this show, if you know anybody that's class of 91 for Tri-County High School, tell them to hit us up. You know, they can always leave comments. They can leave emails at the Men Club Podcast at gmail.com. You know, you can hit us up on YouTube at a Men's Code. On YouTube, we got an Instagram page, Men's Club. Man, we out there, so it ain't hard to get in touch with us. You know, leave us something, leave a phone number, leave a message, you know, something. Just let us know something, you know, if you want to be on the show, if you want to come on and just be a guest host, or if you just want to be able to, you know, you ain't got to show your face. You can put an icon up there and we just hear your voice, you know. But let's leap, y'all. You know, let's leap. Let's look forward to the future and try to do better with one another. Like I said, when the community, when the culture is right, you know, everything else seems to fall into place, and it ain't that we can't achieve, y'all. It really ain't that hard. We just got to stop looking at each other as the enemy. I am not your enemy. All I want is for everybody to succeed. I don't hate on people when they're doing good. I like to see us doing well. I want to see everybody doing well. I don't care how much better you doing than me. I'm happy for you. Genuine. I want to be happy for you. I want to celebrate your success because I know where we came from. So if you are doing great in your business, you're doing great in your adult life, you've been doing great since high school, let us celebrate you. You know what I'm saying? We are not haters on this show. Never. So, with that being said, y'all, we're going to call it a night unless you got something out there.
And that's it.
All right.
Hold on.
Get it. Hold on. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
We just tore the Oscars up. All right, y'all. This has been a Men's Code, and we appreciate y'all for watching us and join us again next week. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.